Hey guys, I hope you guys are all doing well. So by now you guys have all seen my wedding video, so I thought it would be a good time to come do my wedding story. It's kind of like a baby story, but wedding. So yeah, I thought it would be a good idea to kind of give you guys some back info into what went into the planning and how things went, and was it good, was it bad, did anything tragic happen, what were the highlights, the lowlights, all of that. So I'm gonna make this video pretty short. I want to keep it under 15 minutes, so I'm gonna get right to it. I started with, first of all, let's start from the beginning. I got married on August 24th, 2014, and I started planning for my wedding, I would say perfectly a year before. I would say I really launched myself into the planning January of 2014. That's when things became real and I really had to start planning. Now, throughout the planning process, I pretty much planned my wedding from A to Z. I had a lot of help from some co-workers. I also had a lot of help from my husband, my now husband. But it was still very stressful. I don't think I realized how many little details go into planning a wedding. So yeah, I quickly found out. But I didn't like have one of those like wedding planner things. I used the app, The Knot. The Knot was amazing as an app. It does your budget on there. It has ideas. It's kind of like a mini Pinterest because it has hairstyles, dress styles, all of that stuff. I bought my dress in, I want to say I had my dress by December of 2013. I already had my dress. It was a hard decision for my dress. My dress was beautiful, as you guys saw from the video. It was a big, huge ball gown dress. I wish I would have put a corset back on the dress, but that's the only regret I have about the dress. I love the dress. It was beautiful. A lot of my decorations, actually all of my decorations I did myself. All my centerpieces that you guys saw in my wedding video, I made them all myself. They were just, I put a vase, a lot of water beads, and a LED light in the middle. It was hard to see from the video or pictures, but when the lights were turned down into the room and the LED lights started going off, it was just beautiful. And then I got those foam balls all from Michael's. Dude, like I had to go to Michael's 150 million times just because those big foam balls are like $24 for one. And I was not about to pay $24 a pop for a foam ball that I was never going to use again. So you know how Michael has those 40% off coupon for one item? I just kept going back, and I told my friend, go to Michael's, get me a foam ball. If you drive by Michael's, get me a foam ball, I'll pay you back. So literally I got all my foam balls. I think I had 10 tables in all. I think I had 10 tables plus the bridal table. So all my foam balls came from Michael's. And then the glass jars are expensive. They were about $34 per jar because they were very tall, or cylinder, whatever you call them. And I didn't want to pay $34 for, I was a very frugal bride. I did not want to overspend on things that I would never reuse again. So I was very cautious about things like that. I wanted a nice, classic, beautiful wedding without all the fuss. You know what I mean? I just wanted something very simple and beautiful. So I digress. But I was randomly going into Hobby Lobby on 4th of July, and they had all their glasswares 50% off. So I got that for 50% off. All of them were 50% off. I was so excited. So that's pretty much how the centerpieces came together. Around this time, I want to say around April or May, I had an issue. One of my bridesmaids, she actually had to not be part of the wedding anymore because there were some issues with her dress. So I lost the bridesmaid. I had a friend who was helping me the whole time, and she just kind of took her place. So I thought I had that covered. The bridesmaids got their dresses. I started working on the groomsmen things. I started working on decorations and everything, calling and finalizing things and all of that good stuff. And then I started working on my bouquet. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen this bouquet before, but I'm so proud of it, I gotta show it again. I did not want a flower bouquet. I wanted something that I could keep forever. And I did a lot of research on different bouquets, and what I wanted was so expensive. I wanted something with ribbon roses, and I just wanted it to be glamorous and blingy, but not too blingy because my dress wasn't very blingy at all. And I just wasn't willing to pay the amount of money that they were going to charge to make me one of these. So my crazy butt decided to do it on my own. This was the hardest project. I'm usually a very crafty person. I pick up on craft things very quickly, but this was so freaking hard. It took me a good month just to get this done. Now, since then, I've made 2 others. I've made one for a bride that saw this on my Instagram and contacted me and wanted me to make it for her. Another one that contacted me through Facebook, I think, and wanted me to make it for her. And then my friend actually asked me to make one for her wedding. So I haven't started on hers yet, but this is what it looks like. It's just all ribbon roses, and I got pearls to put in between all of it. And I got these huge like brooches, gems, and things to go in the middle. I absolutely love this. I can keep this forever. Now, for my centerpieces, those were actually little tiny paper flowers that I cut with the Martha Stewart like hole puncher thingies, and I got like, I think they're called like stationery paper. They're the hard paper, and I cut them, 2 flowers. I superimposed them on top of each other, flip them around, and I put a pearl pin in the middle. I made so many of those, and thank you to my husband because he spent most football Sundays chopping up little flowers. It was so cute, but he was so helpful. Yeah, it really helped that he was taking the time to cut every flower for me. But yeah, the bouquets, the centerpieces turned out beautifully, but they were very hard to make. And a lot of my friends from work came over to my house and helped me cut out the flowers. And it was just a group village effort. Let's fast forward closer to the wedding. We are about 3 weeks away from the wedding. The bridesmaid that had recently stepped into the other bridesmaid's position just happened to tell me that she can't make it to the wedding anymore. So minus 2 weeks of my wedding, I'm down a bridesmaid, and I was so upset around that time. I was so pissed off. I was so mad, and I don't know. I was just so mad around that time. And at this point, it's so late to get a dress because it's 2 weeks from the wedding. So I finally asked one of my friends that I should have asked in the first place to be in the wedding, and she agrees to it. But now I'm trying to get the other bridesmaid's dress to exchange it to get the right size for my new bridesmaids. And I basically lost it at David's Bridal because the manager is basically telling me, yeah, I can't do that. I don't know if you stole that dress or not. And I freaking lost my mind, and I screamed at her and I yelled at her. Like, people really should think that brides are bridezillas. It's not the brides, it's everybody around them that's making them crazy. Like the lady, she was trying to do nothing to help me. She was not being sympathetic. She was not trying to help. She was basically treating me like I was a freaking thief when I had previously bought my wedding dress from that store. Everything from that store, and she basically treated me like, I don't know, like I went out and stabbed somebody, stole a bridesmaid's dress, and I'm not trying to return it for a different dress. If I'm a thief, why would I try to return it for a different dress? Which makes no sense. But we finally got my new bridesmaid her dress, and she's the real MVP because she had that thing hemmed and done and everything in like less than a week. And it was hard trying to find a dress in her size in the first place. I had to call like a million different stores, and I finally found one in Orlando, and she lives in Miami. So we got the dress, shipped it to Miami. She had it hemmed. Oh my god, you guys, it was a mess. But she got her dress, and we drove down to Houston for the wedding. This is 1 week to the wedding. We drove down to Houston for the wedding. Once we got down there, I was doing final touches on everything, meeting with the church and everything, and I ended up hiring a day planner. I don't know if I remember telling you guys that. So I didn't hire a wedding planner throughout my whole wedding process, but I hired a day planner, somebody who will be there during the rehearsal and during the wedding day. It was the best decision I ever freaking made. I am going to leave all my vendors info in the description box. If you guys live in the Houston area, or if you're around that area, these people that I hired for my wedding had the best prices and they had the highest quality. My day planner, she can be a whole wedding planner or she can just be a day planner. She was amazing. Melissa handled everything. Like, I'm going to put her info down below. Like I said, if you live in the Houston area, give her a call. She did an amazing job at my wedding. She had everybody in line, ready to go, like done. Like, I didn't have to say anything. She was in tune with me. She just got stuff done. And she's like one of those, she will be down. Like, if you need to get something done, she'll do it for you. But yeah, so I had my wedding planner and everything. My caterers were amazing. I had Cool Runnings caterer. My wedding, they were Jamaican spot. Food was amazing. I had Ooh La La Bakery do my cake. They're not like wedding cakey, so they don't have like the huge decoration. That's why my cake was so simple. But my cake was so good. Like, it hands down the best wedding cake I've ever had. That's not just because it was my wedding. My vendors were just amazing. Linda, she did my linens. Beautiful. You know, African weddings, they go up until like 2 o'clock in the morning. I think our wedding ended at 2:30 in the morning. Linda was there. Linda was there with her husband at 2 o'clock in the morning, taking down everything. It was just, everybody was just there. They were on point. They were doing what they were supposed to do. My photographer, I will leave his info down below. Amazing. Sean was amazing. He brought his wife with him. Great team. They got things done. It was just, my vendors, hands down, I feel like I had the best vendors for this wedding. And for the price that I paid, it's like ridiculous that they will be this good. But that's what you get for doing your research. I do want to touch on one thing though that really brought my whole type of wedding experience down a little bit. And this isn't like to like call out. So the one thing that I would do differently, and it's not even up to me to do it differently, was I didn't get a bachelor party and I didn't get a bridal shower. I didn't. Now, the actual wedding day was beautiful. I woke up early in the morning. I couldn't even sleep all night. I went downstairs at the hotel I was staying. I had breakfast. Then I did my eye makeup. And then I went and got my reception room ready with like my bridesmaids, and a couple of the groomsmen came in to help. We got the whole reception area ready. The linen people were there. It was beautiful. And then we went back to our hotel, and my husband went back to his hotel where he was staying. We got dressed, we took pictures, and then we headed back into our reception area, and we had our first look where he saw me in my dress for the first time. We took our pictures, and while we were doing that, they were setting the cake inside, so I got to see kind of like the behind the scenes things going on. It was just a really, really nice experience. Now, one tip that I would like, I have lots of tips. Like, there's so many ways to save money. For example, one of the things that I save money on, and I'm gonna keep this video kind of short, I'm rambling on here, but one thing that I really saved money on was my bartender. Now, a lot of times when you want to do like bartenders, it costs an arm and a leg. What I did was, I have a few friends of mine who know bartenders, so I asked them if they knew someone that would bartend for me. And the good thing was that my reception area had a little area with a window that was perfect for a bartender. So I paid the bartender a set fee, and then I bought all the alcohol. So, and then I made like little drink menu cards. She had 2 signature drinks that were both reminiscent of our countries. There was one called the Congo River for my husband, and there was one called Creeby Breeze for my country, because Creeby is in Cameroon, and you know, Congo River is in Congo. If you're getting married and if you have any questions for me, please leave them down below. If you're helping somebody with their wedding, please leave your questions down below. If you're a bridesmaid and you need tips on being a better bridesmaid, please leave your comment down below. Anyway, that's it. I have to head to work now before I'm late. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one.